What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Alright, this is my coming out video. I came out to my family in '06, but I've been having sexual feelings for girls since I was whew, maybe third grade. I mean, that sounds kind of weird and odd and just like, what? Because, you know, you're in third grade, you don't know what sexual, you know, your sexuality is because you're in third grade. And, me, nah, I knew. I kissed, there's one girl, gosh, I can't remember her name, but I kissed her up under my jacket in the classroom. It was pretty funny. I'm gonna say that right now, that it was so freaking funny. But at the time, you know, I'm just like, I kissed her and I said, dude, that's nasty. I don't ever want to do it again. Ugh. But then I started to really like, wherever I went, I was looking at girls. I would fantasize about being with a girl. I would, I mean, I wouldn't do girly things like, you know, what you know, a normal girl would do. You know, like girls they get their nails done, they get their hair done. Even though I did those things for my mom, I got my hair done. You know, I used to wear weave. To be honest with everybody, yes, I used to wear weave. I used to have the cornrows. I used to have the crochets or whatever you want to call it, or you know, I used to have it all. You know, I used to have the back in the days they were called dookie braids. They were like these big ass black braids that they were big and fat, and but they call them dookie braids. I used to have those. I also I used to my mother would like put on like these outfits on me, and you know, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when they had like these flower dresses. They were white, but they had like a bunch of flowers on it. Was and with the collar, the little okay, I don't know what you call them, but you know how Prince used to wear his shirts with the little ruffle things on the front of it. That's what I basically had on the collar part. Um, I used to, you know, wear the little white shoes with the little belt thing to go over your foot. You know, I used to. I mean, I used to do. You know, I would go to church with my mom and my grandma, and I would have to dress in, you know, little dresses and stuff. Didn't too much like the dresses whatsoever. I used to wear like little tight pants for my mom, and I also, I'm pretty sure every stud who were younger back in the days used to carry a purse. I used to have what do you call it? I used to have a Coach purse. I used to have a Louis Vuitton purse. I used to have a Infinity. I don't know. It starts with an F, but I know I had a purse. And And yeah, in South Carolina, and me and my mom and her, we went to the nail place and I got my nails done. It didn't really last long. It did. It probably lasted maybe 3 days, and I took them off. Even my toes. Then I got my nails done again for when I graduated high school. But I'm telling you, my first time, okay, it was crazy. Now, everybody knew my sexuality, except for my parents. But you know how parents are. When you tell them something, they be like, I already knew by the way you dress, the way you talk, and all of the stuff. Da, 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 da. But in reality, they didn't know because they didn't want to face the fact that, that your child is gay. And, you know, you don't want people to be like, a lot of parents don't want to be judged by their friends. Their friends, their co-workers, or whatever, that you have a child that is gay, lesbian, or whatever, bisexual, But my time when I first, I was like telling one family member one by one. It was like, okay, I have to sit him down and tell him. I have to tell him. I have to tell him. I have to tell him. So I think the first person that I've ever told was my uncle, and he said to me that he loved me no matter what, and that he's gonna support me, and he's not gonna, disown me or anything like that. So he loves me to death. And then the second person I would say was my cousin, my oldest cousin. I told her, and same thing. She supports me. She loves me no matter what. In my situation, she's gonna always be there for me. And then I have another older cousin, and this is on my mother's side of the family. And I told her, and then I told my uncle, and then I told another aunt. I told my aunt, which is my mom's baby sister. I told her, and then so on and so on, and it just kind of like fell through. It just went through with everything. But I wanted to really sit down and talk to my parents and tell them, but I didn't get a chance to until I got a phone call. I was sitting at my uncle's house. We were chilling, and I was sitting there chilling. I get a phone call from my mother, and she's like, "What is this I'm hearing that you're gay?" And I was like, "What?" I kind of like hesitated on the answer and how to answer that question, because I was like, "Oh man, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that." Yep, it's a sneaky escape caught on cam. Recent rumors have swirled the sexiest man alive and his The Worst co-star have been dating and living together in LA. Being careful not to leave the residence together, the two are snapped just minutes apart. I just, I took a deep breath and I said, you know what, I'll go ahead and say it. And I told her, and I said, yes, I am. I told her, yes, Mom, I am. I am gay. But it was kind of messed up how it was played out, because my cousin just so happens, I don't know if this is just a true story or not, but I've heard that my cousin went to my grandmother and asked her or told her, and my grandmother went and called my mom and told my mom, and then my mom came and called me and asked. I go home and I wash my face and I put on my sweatpants and I lay down on the bed and asked, and say, please rub my feet. And then, and he said, no, you rub my feet behind the curtain. I'm just like everybody else. And that's my that's my coming out story for that. So yeah, but it was crazy because everybody, kind of looked at me different. I'm not gonna say any names, but I have a cousin, a younger cousin, whose mother, who don't know me, I never, don't know me, but kind of like talked about me and kind of think that, hey, it's kind of dangerous to be around somebody like me. And I'm never gonna harm anybody. I'm not gonna hit on my own cousin. I'm not gonna expose myself. Sorry. I'm not going to expose myself like that in front of little children. And my uncle, her father, understands, and he knows I would never do that. But as the time months, years went by, everybody kind of knows that I am a lesbian. Coming up, Kim reacts to the Chloe drama. That's a false story, isn't it, Kim? Plus, Mama Chris goes on the defense. I have never heard such crap in my life. Dan and Chris Harrison crashed a bachelor screening party. Only East cameras captured their reaction to Monday's outrageous episode. I just want people to know that young people out there who are 14, 15, and 16 years old who haven't came out to their parents or their family, or if it's one person in the family that you can really trust and told them, hey, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, or whatever, I want to tell you right now, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Just believe that you're going to be loved tremendously, whether it's gonna, you're gonna face some real, some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people like to judge. They're gonna talk about you. They're going to, and if your family feels ashamed, I ain't gonna say no names about who I think feels ashamed, but if your family feels ashamed enough to not even want you to be out in public with them, because of the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way you dress, then hey, it's gonna hurt for a couple. It could take months. It could take days, months, maybe a year or two, but some point in your mother or father or your whole entire family, they're gonna have to come to that time of accepting you for who you are. So if you want to sit your parents down and tell them, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, I'm a lesbian, whatever, and this is what I like, this is what I'm going to do, and if they don't like it, which they're not going to like it at first, they're probably even thinking about kicking you out or whatever, but you do know that they do love you. And it kind of is, to me, I still feel what I'm not gonna, get into that. That's gonna be another video. Jesus whiz, this video is pretty long. But that's my coming out story.